It's funny thinking about that. I always look back at screwing up the car dealership job as the point until which I ultimately had my last chance to get myself into an adult-like career, or an adult-like salary at the very least. Um, but before that, I was actually realizing basically I had to, I don't know, consolidate some of my dreams and manage getting into a legitimate salary based on what I knew and how to do it. While doing the contract for AnyBill, I had to network with their marketing firm. And I had to beat out the creative videography marketers, Peter's old buddies, or one of his old friends who worked with the Geico group, made the caveman commercials. So I realized I was being given a significant opportunity to prove myself by Matt, the CEO, after being introduced to him by his friend and networking buddy, Misty, who was a consultant for business sort of progressive thinking. Now, the AnyBill people probably found out from their marketing firm I actually was a little ignorant to certain variables from an internet marketing perspective on how to maintain and grasp how to actually get these things online. To some degree true, but ultimately I just forget definitions and words because I wasn't that specialized in it from a backbone internet programming circumstance, even though I knew Dreamweaver relatively well, which was the website app on Adobe at the time. The concept I came up with afterwards, the reason I beat the Geico guys, because they were really just looking for interviews, not creative thinking in terms of clever marketing concepts, which cost a great deal of money if proven. But the project I missed out on, in the position I failed to proactively continue trying to prove myself to get, which I don't think they really thought I had the potential to be in that good of a role. I wasn't really sure if it was an assistant or right-hand man marketing circumstance. The structure of their marketing was mostly just Peter from their office at that point. But they could clearly tell I was a little kid managing a one-man bandstand. Bizarrely enough, in the first interview for me to relevate on how I could envision their online marketing solutions, because they didn't really understand where Twitter and how they potentially could be competitors for Google at that moment was, and neither was I. That's why Matt walked out of the situation, because he kind of felt like I was bullshitting him, even though I clearly knew enough about videos to make these interviews go down properly, and give them a very smaller, bill for something they just needed to beat out their competitors' sort of list of exposés of client referrals and client experiences. But I regret that one most. Basically, because I realized their marketing firm was charging them way too much in situations where adaptively I could get online and figure out what I didn't know about Adobe in terms of outside of the principal program I grasped, which was not Final Cut. That was the Apple one. The Adobe Video. God, I can't even remember the name of the program I was most trained in on the Adobe suite. And Dreamweaver was the Macromedia one they put under their umbrella. It's amazing how quick my memory gets mixed up. But anyways, luckily my friends gave me a crash course in how to present myself as somewhat knowledgeable on search engine optimization, critical variables. So I could sort of bullshit my way and fake it till I made it. But I was in a position into which I could facilitate certain technical issues from a marketing standpoint in-house for video creation, creative video development, and how to maintain from a website position how to sort of without contracting more hours with expensive marketing firms, paying well-proven creative thinkers in video creation, as well as utilizing what I'd proven I could do from a very simple standpoint, which was utilize price points and word association on a basic level. Word search engine optimization is a lot simpler than anyone grasps. It really just has to do with grasping what words associations mean to people ultimately, and figuring out at the price point you have how to basically get as many impressions for a penny as you can humanly capably make Google believe it is going to profit off you the most. Ultimately, the variables of these search engine optimizations, the creative suite, and creative video production was all, forming itself in my marketing mind. And from a networking business perspective, which Matt knew I was competent in by being one of Misty's friends, I had a lot of potential at that time. And I think they kind of saw it, but they were sort of taken back by my inability to sort of really come through, because I was kind of falling apart at the time, and I wasn't letting anyone realize it based on how stressed out I was from not being allowed to smoke pot. And, I don't know, it was difficult. But that's probably where I probably should have pushed a little further down the line. Most likely. Also didn't help that, well, won't get into in-office circumstances. But anyways, I was always very good about professionally segregating my personal life from an office or professional context, which can and can't hurt you at points, different variables and times. Ultimately, that's where I need to think. That's where I need to progress. If I had been given that position, or at the very least another chance to prove myself as an outside marketer, I had pre-positioned plan B in not getting that job and still getting another contract as to help them facilitate a further marketing presence for their position, and it was going to be brilliant. I figured out at a very low price point. I called the right-hand man of the comics creator of Dilbert and figured out for $10,000 how to get the copyrights to create a real-life video of Dilbert pointing out the efficiencies of AnyBill through a live video with people with cheap mascot suits, oversized, emulating these characters in Dilbert. How Dilbert saved the day by doing a contract with AnyBill in this hilarious scene, which would have been epic for all the office people and business people who love Dilbert like a child loves Garfield. And whether or not anyone would have liked or become cognizant of how efficient AnyBill was to the everyday operations and decorruption of how the accounting theoretically could come into concern based on paperwork, and the efficiencies then therefore of a reduced in-house accounting of basic finances of accounts payable. But the concept I had, which I can't remember the script perfectly, would have been epically hilarious amongst the people simply who enjoyed funny Dilbert cartoons. In such a manner, it may have humiliated the thinker of the screenwriting behind Dilbert, because in a marketing ingenious methodology, had perfectly utilized it in a marketing position to make not only a real-life video of a Dilbert situation, which would have been hilarious, but perfectly implicated it into a synergetic, viral interest, unto which would have vindicated the potential marketing solution to the efficiency of their product itself. I really, really wish I had gotten the chance to get those copyrights for 10 G's, buy those mascot suits for potentially what I found for about $3,000, and for a $7,000 profit, put together the beginning of a marketing career for myself. Hopefully, maybe even in-house at the beginning point with any bill, to a disposition unto which I would be regarded as highly as the cavemen, Geico producers, creatively, as a videographer and marketer, and sort of a ingenious joke maker when practical in viralizing marketing solutions for literally no money. Because when you make something that's ingeniously hilarious and potentially perfect at proving a product's mutual benefit and ultimate superiority in a massively uncharted region of potential efficiency, I mean, boom, shakalaka boom. I could have been charging Geico dollars right after that project. And if I wasn't contracted in-house to do it, my career would have taken off as a commercial maker and or creative one-line solutions to invoke people to watch things whether or not the potential of its message had anything to do with them buying the product, and just sort of placing their marketing imagery into a mass procedure of why and how these guys are now on top, because they were the first ones to create a memory in your mind as to how effective their product really is about to be for the modern age of accounts payable. Damn. Should have gotten that done. Got lazy. I was depressed because Diana broke up with me. Women. Romance. No wonder all the gay guys are making all the money. Not dealing with all this drama.